Hey everyone, and welcome to another BITorial brought to you by me in cooperation with, well, my good old friends that you can see back here, Bitburger. We're going to be creating some more content again now that I will likely have a bit more time since I'm not in a team. But for starters, I'm going to go with a BITorial. The Bitucational will follow very soon. I had something in mind, but it didn't turn out very well. So I thought we're going to kick it off with a BITorial, and I think something that has not been talked about enough or not so much recently are the starting items that change all the time and how it works in the current patch in 7.31c. Because right now people are buying a lot of like stats and very little regen on the cores, but a lot of regen on the supports. And I think I see a lot of people like not buy the items correctly. Of course, in high MMR, it happens quite frequently that this gets done properly. But I think the lower MMR you go, and since I do watch a couple replays every now and then of those two, I can just see that this is very much lacking in the, the lower you go, the worse it is. So what I want to show you guys is just kind of what people are starting with and why and what they built this into in the first like 5 to 10 minutes. Because I think even though this video won't be very long, I think it's very informative and it will help you quite a bit if you listen and if you do pay attention. So hopefully you're gonna enjoy it. So what I have prepared is, if you look at Dota 2 Pro Tracker, you can obviously see what people are doing. If you go to the website, you can go here and list the game, the roles, right? By, you can check carry only, mid only, offlane only, +4, +5, and all. So I handpicked for you guys a couple of players that I think do starting items and itemization very well. Because again, Dota is a very complex game and you may be good at something, but you may be not so good at some other things. So I think a lot of these players are very good at itemizing both in the starting items and the early items that they do get. So without looking into the games, I can show you here already what their starting items were. And I can try to explain to you from role to role how it works and why these are indeed their starting items. So if you have a look at Yatoro's items, who is obviously a carry player, apart from this one little invoker game, there's a lot of stats and only ever one set of tangos. And sometimes, does he always have a set of tangos? In this game, he had no tangos on CK. In this game, he had no tangos on Bloodseeker. In this game, he did have tangos on Monkey. But as you can see, a lot of stats, very little regen, sometimes full stats, sometimes there's a stick built in here. But it's mostly branch, tango stats, or branch, circlet stats, right? So here he's playing Morphling, he goes double circlet, double branch, tango. So the way it works right now is that you want to buy as little regen as possible because your support is supposed to do it for you, because you can share tangos, you can get salved, and you want to be as strong as possible from the get-go to fight in your lane. If they have a lot of spam in the lane, you can start with a stick. Like here, he's playing Juggernaut against a Marcy lane, so he buys stick. Here he's playing CK. CK is a hero that loves to fight, so stick charges are very good because it allows you to man up more. He was playing CK against a Mars Skyrev lane, great lane to start up with a stick and more stats to like be durable, be strong. Here he's playing Bloodseeker with no starting regen at all. Why is that? Because he laned against a Night Stalker, a hero who won't really aggress you very much. So as you can see, the starting build, it changes every game. And that's because it should. That's how Dota is played right now. You buy a lot of stats from the carry role, very little regen, and sometimes you go stick and whatnot. So I'm going to show you another player who plays for Tundra, who I think they place 3rd or 4th at the major. And some people really like this build, which is the Magic Wand plus triple branch, because it gives you a lot of stats. It's 6 all stats from this, and you already have a completed Magic Wand, which you get to keep throughout the lane. And the more stick charges you build, it makes you eventually become really hard to kill, and it allows you to trade a lot and man up and fight. So in a lot of games, I would advise you to try this build, which is the Magic Wand build. That's what I call it. You can do this as both as the carry and in the off lane, and it's very good when you play against a double spam lane and if your support will buy you regen. As you can see, Skitter prefers to have this magic wand / stick build in quite a few matchups. And other than that, you once again have massive stats with one set of tangos mostly. So this kind of covers carry. Now, if we look at middle, it's pretty simple. You go like double, triple branch, tango, fairy fire, and you rush bottle. You go bottle into boots, into raindrop, into another set of tangos, and you go from there. I don't know how many mid players are going to watch this, but I think going triple branch into this rush tango is very good, unless you're playing heroes that don't need bottle. Like, let's say you play Necrophos. Maybe you don't need bottle. You can go massive stats to try and out-hit them and out-CS them. Here, Thompson is playing sniper. He buys massive amount of stats. Here he plays massive amount of stats on DK because he's not rushing a bottle. But most mid heroes right now, they rush a bottle. Therefore, you don't need the stats, so you go branches to get it ASAP, and you go from there. If you look at no one, it's kind of the same triple branch tango. Kind of go from there. Here on Invoker, no bottle, so you get some stats to help yourself last hit. That's that. Now, moving on to the offlane, I think item builds can differ a little bit, but also not that much. Sorry, I wanted to sort them. What you're going to see from me is I mainly start with at least one set of tangos. It's also going to be usually tangos into like stats. Like here we have Bad Rider, I have stick, tango, stats to build into a null talisman. And then usually your first upgrade is going to be your upgraded bracer or a stick or boots, more regen. Just make sure that you're always topped up with your health and stuff like that. But as you can see here also stick, double gauntlet and tango to work into my minute 1 and 2 bracers. Here I played Night Stalker. I skipped the Quelling Blade. In some lanes I do like to skip Quelling Blade because a lot of the strength heroes have very high damage, therefore you don't need it. So again, stats, branch, tango, build into a bracer, build into boots, go from there. Here we are playing Night Stalker, but again we slightly swapped up our items because I buy stick because it's like some disruptor Wraith King lane. They're gonna spam a lot. And other than that, here you play Beastmaster, you save some gold to get to your Dominator faster. Here I go, I play Necrophos and Beastmaster with Magic Wand builds, because I know that I play against such lanes that I have to man up, have stick charges to fight around. Like here I play Necro against, what was it? Weaver, Io, a lot of stick charges in that lane. Here I played Beastmaster against Wraith King Marcy, I think. So again, a lot of stick charges is gonna help me to fight back and be aggressive. Then you have Amar, where you have kind of similar item builds, lots of stats here, lots of stats and tango, lots of stats and tango, so nothing crazy. Post 4, I think it differs a bit on the hero you play. Sometimes maybe a Blightstone, you know, if you're playing some Hoodwink, you can go Blights, but it's usually like Blightstone, tango, some items to keep manning up and fighting. As you can see, there's a lot of Fairy Fire and Mango in these item builds because it just allows you to trade. Like this Mango Fairy Fire stick gives a lot of turnaround potential, which is great. And then just enough regen. Maybe you send a salve with the bounty gold, stuff like that. If you look at crit, it's also pretty similar. Blightstone here. When he plays Tiny, he goes boots, tango, and branches. So it's pretty straightforward, I think, for the post 4. And then you just either try to rush boots or get more regen. And post 5, I would say it's also not that complex right now. You usually want to have a sentry to block the hard camp or maybe unblock your easy camp, depending on the lane. Mostly you're going to start the lane with a tango and salve because you're kind of the healing bitch in the lane for your carry. It does sadly end up happening like that a lot. In some lanes, you can also go for like a stick Fairy Fire because maybe you're laning against a lane where, again, they're going to use a lot of spells. It's going to allow you to turn around and trade. Like if they have a Mars Snapfire lane or a Visage +1 or Caudal Ember, you know, some stuff like that, you can go stick. But otherwise, you just kind of buy what's good for you in the lane, but make sure that you never fall flat on the region. Tango salve, tango salve. Here it's just tango, then again tango salve, boots tango. If you don't start with salve, it will usually be sent out right away with the bounty gold just to make sure that things are going according to plan. But I think if you guys can stick to like this kind of stuff when you do play your roles, it will make the follow-up gameplay a lot easier for you. So I hope that whatever role you play, that you can learn something from this, and I highly recommend you to check out Dota 2 Pro Tracker, because I think it's a great website and it's a great tool to get all the info you need. If you look at Dota 2 Pro Tracker, you can obviously see what people are doing. If you go to the website, you can go here and list the game, the roles, right? By, you can check carry only, mid only, offlane only, post 4, post 5, and all. As you can see, the starting build, it changes every game. And that's because it should. That's how Dota is played right now. You buy a lot of stats from the carry roll, very little regen, and sometimes you go stick and whatnot. You just kind of buy what's good for you in the lane, but make sure that you never fall flat on the regen. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave some feedback down below. And as always, stay safe, stay cool, and happy improving. Bye-bye.